If you are an NRI and you think that if your income crosses say 2.5 lakh per year, then only you should file return in India. So in this video, I'm going to tell you that's wrong. Basically, there are certain transactions which is called high value transactions. And if you're doing that in any year, you should do either a compliance or a tax return filing. So always understand, filing income tax is not only required when there is a income beyond a limit. This is also required when you do any high value transactions, high value purchases, high value expenses. So please note down all these high value transactions which I'm going to tell you in this video, and ensure that you do some compliances or file your return, whichever is appropriate. Failing that, these transactions can turn into a full-fledged notice or scrutiny from department. So just a little bit of care can avoid all these things. So let's understand what are those high value transactions which require you to take some step either to do compliance on an income tax portal or filing income tax return. So let's begin. So very first transaction is buying a property. Now, generally when you sell a property, you should definitely file an income tax return because there's a TDS involved, there is a income involved. But even when you're buying a property and the property value is more than 30 lakh, it's a high value transaction and you have to report on the compliance portal. Second high value transaction is about paying your credit card bill. So if you're paying your credit card bill, which is more than 1 lakh rupees in a year, and you're paying that by cash, then you should report. And if you're paying through bank, still your credit card bill is more than 10 lakh rupees, it's a high value transaction. Fourth is about investment in stocks. So if you're buying investment, either it can be stocks, mutual fund, debentures, bonds, which is more than 10 lakh in a year, it's a high value transaction, and there you need to do some compliance on the compliance portal. Another way is when you're depositing cash. And this is very important because what happens in most of cases when people are selling property or buying property, they accept some part as a cash. And they think that they will deposit in their bank account and nobody will know. But that's the biggest mistake. So if you are putting cash in your bank account more than 10 lakh rupees in any year, it's surely going to report it. And you have to explain the source of this cash. So first thing, avoid it. Second, if it's a genuine sources, maybe you can have a agriculture income in India and you're putting that 10 lakh rupees in a bank account, at least ensure that you do a compliance and mention its source itself. Now, buying and selling of foreign currency more than 10 lakh rupees in a year, that's also require some sort of compliance because it is also considered as a high value transaction. Now, another way, if suppose you have some sort of business in India and you have a current account and you're depositing cash or withdrawing cash more than 50 lakhs, it's also high value transaction. You need to explain the source. So basically, my purpose of making this video to make you aware that there are certain high value transaction which I explained you. And if they say the most of cases the limit is 10 lakh rupees, only in case of property it is 30 lakh. In case of putting cash in a current account, it is 50 lakhs. So just you can remember this 10, 30 and 50 limit. So if you're crossing in any year that limit, and if you just remember that, there's one more transaction which I want to tell you is about electricity. So if you're spending on electricity more than 1 lakh rupees in a year, that's also considered a higher value transaction. So if any of these transaction, if you understand, these are not income. Most of them are not income. Most of them are either expenses or investments, like either investment in stocks, debentures, bonds, mutual funds, or investment in property. Expenditure, like you are expending from your credit card, and in other cases you are basically depositing, withdrawing cash. So most of them are not income. So most of the time people understand, okay, these are not income, so I don't need to file a return. And that's the misconception. And I know a lot of my client, NRI clients also, normal clients also, they are receiving notices because in some sort of year they have done this kind of high value transaction and they have not filed any income tax return. The department has sent them compliance portals detail with the request to do compliance, but they have not done the compliance also. Now this transaction which is done maybe 5 years, 6 years, 4 years down the line is coming back to haunt them because now department has issued notices for scrutiny. Now what happened problem, once they issue the notices for scrutiny, it is a really long process, time consuming, money consuming, and unnecessary harassment, which might have been avoided if they just have kept a watch or an eye on these kind of high value transaction. Now I'm giving you a very easy option. See, as I told you already, we have a inbuilt system where you just have to put the data like your PAN number and password, and which is a secret because only admin can put this thing, and this is not accessed by anybody else. And every week our system basically run automatically sync from income tax portal. And if any such notices or intimation comes that boss, you have done some high value transaction, you need to take care of this particular part of compliances, or at least you need to explain us what is the source of this expenditure, we will come to know and we'll update you. So you can do it yourself, or you can allow us to do that on your behalf, so that these small queries will not turn into a full-fledged notices. So that's all in this video, friends. Hope this helps to avoid unnecessary future tax litigations. And you can rely us if you cannot take out time because you are abroad, you're already busy in your schedule, and you are not able to take time that you can check every month or every week. At least you can allow us for do this. And this every month, whatever we are checking or every week we are checking, we are not charging any fees for that. It's free because we already have on that system. We have that system, and we can simply use for a number of clients. So please, if you are NRI and you don't have a dedicated CA here, at least, and you don't have any income also, at least you can allow us to monitor that. And only when something comes, we will intimate. Even that time, it's your choice. To you can allow us to do that for some fees, or you can do it yourself. That's your choice. So that's all in this video. Thank you. Have a nice day.